Compound interest is the only force that can make a $5 habit worth six figures, or turn a $1,000 mistake into 10,000. It isn't a rate, it's a multiplier that never sleeps. You felt it without seeing it. Your savings account grows, but barely. Then suddenly it seems to jump. Your credit card balance sits still for months. Then one day the interest feels like it accelerates. Your rent climbed 15% over 2 years. Groceries are up. Your paycheck tries to keep up. And your money either stretches or snaps depending on whether compound interest is working for you or against you. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The money math that controls whether you feel secure or stressed is not linear. It snowballs. That is why your friend who started investing in her early 20s looks calm, and why your cousin stuck with a balance on a 20% card feels like he's running in wet cement. Most people guess the cause is bad luck or good jobs. The real reason is simpler and more powerful, and it stays hidden because it unfolds slowly, then all at once. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And once you use it, you stop working only for money, and your money starts working for you while you sleep. So what is compound interest minus the textbook? Imagine a tiny snowball at the top of a hill. It rolls. It picks up snow. That extra snow makes it bigger, so it picks up snow faster, which makes it bigger still. Interest on your money earns more interest, and that new interest earns interest again. That's the entire trick. Interest on interest. But here's the twist. Time is the hill. The longer it rolls, the more unstoppable it gets. Let's make it concrete. Put $100 into something that pays 10% a year. After 1 year, you have 110. Easy. Year 2 isn't 120. It's 121. That extra dollar is interest you earned on last year's interest. Small? Sure. But now zoom out. $1,000 at 10% for 20 years grows to about $6,700. For 40 years, it becomes roughly $45,000. Same rate, same money. Time is doing the heavy lifting. Wait, it gets stranger. Start with the same $1,000, but give yourself 5 extra years at 10%. That extra 5 years by itself adds more than your entire starting amount. That's the part nobody tells you. With compounding, the last years do the heaviest lifting. Frequency matters too. Your bank might compound annually, monthly, or daily. If you invest $1,000 at 10% compounded annually, you get about $1,100 after a year. Monthly compounding nudges it to around $1,104. Daily compounding pushes it to about $1,105. Not dramatic in a year. Over decades, those little differences add up like grains of sand building a beach. And this is where things get interesting. Add regular contributions. Put $200 a month into an index fund that averages 7% over time. After 10 years, you're near $35,000. After 20, roughly $105,000. After 30, about $235,000. Same $200 each month. Time and compounding did most of it. That's the part that changes everything. You don't need a miracle, you need a mechanism you repeat. You've probably heard the rule of 72. It's a back-of-the-envelope way to estimate how long money takes to double. Divide 72 by your rate. At 6%, money doubles in about 12 years. At 12%, about 6 years. It isn't magic. It's just how repeated growth stacks on itself. Now here's what nobody tells you. This same engine fuels both wealth and stress. Compound interest is neutral. If you control it, it feeds you. If you ignore it, it feeds on you. Let's flip the coin. Your credit card charges 20%, compounding daily. You buy a $1,000 couch. You pay the minimum, say $30, and you plan to catch up later. 3 months pass. Interest compounds every day, so the balance barely budges. In year 1, you pay a few hundred in interest and you still owe close to the same amount. Keep going. And that couch rents space in your future paychecks. When interest compounds against you, the hill is greased and you're sliding down it. And here's the catch. Minimum payments are designed to stretch time, which multiplies the bank's returns, not yours. Think of two friends, Maya and Jordan. Maya starts investing $200 a month at age 22, stops at 32, and never adds another dollar. Jordan waits until 32, then invests $200 a month until 62. Jordan puts in 6 times more. Who ends up with more at 62? Assuming the same 7% average return? Maya often wins or comes close because her money got 30 extra years of compounding. The amount you invest matters, but when you invest matters more. Time beats timing. But wait, it gets even stranger. Fees are compound interest in reverse. A 1% annual fee on your investment sounds tiny. Over 30 years, it can quietly consume tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes more than a third of your growth, because that fee reduces what can compound each year. It's not just a line item, it's a slow leak in the engine room. The same goes for taxes. If you earn 10% but lose a chunk to taxes each year, your compounding base shrinks. That's why tax-advantaged accounts matter. They protect the base that compounds. You're also swimming in inflation, which compounds too. If inflation runs at 3%, the price of life doubles roughly every 24 years. This is why leaving cash under a mattress feels safe and gets you quietly poorer. Your money's nominal balance stays the same. Its power shrinks. So the real game isn't just compounding more money. It's compounding faster than prices rise, and doing it with as few leaks as possible. Let's bring it home to your week. You skip a $20 lunch on Mondays and redirect it, $80 a month, into a boring, broad index fund. At 7% over 30 years, you build roughly $90,000 from that one small habit. Make it $5 a day, $150 a month, and you're near $200,000. It's not punishment, it's a trade. A small today for a big tomorrow. And once momentum builds, the habit becomes addictive because the numbers start making decisions for you. But there's a twist people miss. Compounding feels slow at the start, then fast later. That lag frustrates beginners and rewards veterans. The solution is to automate the boring part so you survive the slow zone. Set up automatic transfers right after payday. That way you invest before you notice the money. Your brain never gets the chance to negotiate against your future self. The machine stays on. Now address the debt side like an engineer. List your balances and rates. Anything above 8% is a compounding fire. Attack the highest rate first while paying minimums on the rest. That's the debt avalanche. Why avalanche and not snowball? Because the highest rate steals the most from your future. Knock that down and you slow the enemy's compounding. If your credit card compounds daily, paying even a few days earlier each cycle reduces the average balance that racks up interest. Yes, timing your payment by a week can cut interest. Leverage the mechanism. What about student loans? Watch for capitalization. The moment unpaid interest gets added to your principal, so future interest is charged on interest. When possible, pay at least the interest each month to avoid that line crossing. That single act can save you thousands over the life of the loan. And if your employer offers a match on retirement contributions, take it. A match is instant 100% return on those dollars before compounding even starts. That's a multiplier on your multiplier. You might wonder, what if the market drops? Volatility is the price of admission for growth. When prices fall, your contribution buys more shares. When prices rise, your earlier purchases grow. The mechanism works through fear if you keep feeding it. And if you're nervous, build an emergency fund in a high-yield savings account, 3 to 6 months of expenses, so you never have to sell investments at a bad time. That fund is the buffer that keeps your compounding engine from stalling. Here's the simple version. Compound interest turns time into a teammate or an opponent. It rewards patience, consistency, and low friction. It punishes delay, high fees, and expensive debt. The complicated version? Tiny decisions about rates, frequency, and timing create exponential differences over decades. But you don't need perfect. You need progress that continues. So how do you take control right now? Make 3 moves. First, automate a monthly investment, even $50, to a low-fee, broad index fund inside a tax-advantaged account if you have one. Add a small increase every year, like $10 more each month. That staircase becomes a ramp. Second, isolate every interest rate in your life. Anything double-digit? Attack it like a kitchen fire. Pay earlier, pay more than the minimum, and consider a balance transfer only if it lowers your rate and you are disciplined enough to pay it off within the promo window. Third, lower your friction. Choose accounts with low or no fees, avoid products you don't understand, and keep your investment mix simple enough to stick with. Remember Maya? The reason her calm looks like luck is because her early dollars got the longest hill to roll down. That's not magic. That's a system most people never activate because the first months feel unimpressive. But the quiet months are the setup for the loud years. The couch, bought on a card? That was a different system running in the background, one designed to compound for the bank. You now see the code. Money grows on what it grew on. Interest earns more interest. Debt breeds more debt. Time amplifies both. Start early if you can. Start now if you didn't. Protect your base from fees and taxes where possible. Keep a buffer so storms don't knock you off course. And treat every dollar like a seed. Plant it where its offspring can have offspring. The secret isn't hustling harder. It's aligning with the only force in finance that turns small into significant without asking for 24 hours of your day. You just learned the mechanism tying your paycheck, your debt, your savings, and your future into one story. You're not waiting on luck anymore. You're building momentum on purpose. Compound interest is not a concept you memorize. It's a lever you pull. And once you pull it long enough, you stop asking, "Will this work?" and start saying, "It's already working."